Yeah. Hello, guys. Good morning, guys, and welcome back to the Football Fans Zone with your boy Temba Banks. And this morning, guys, as you all know, we are still in the season or the era of transfer. So we are going to be talking about transfers. We'll be looking at the done deals, the rumor, the speculations around transfers, and we're also going to be discussing about some deals, that we thought was going to go through that have actually not gone through. What I would say is just sit back, relax, and engage with me on the comment section if you have anything to talk about. If there's some moves you would expect your club to do, some players you would expect your club to bring into the club to make the team better, please feel free. Every fans is welcome on the football fan zone. We are not here to discriminate. Every football fan, as long as you're talking football, you are always welcome on the football fan zone. Like I said, let's get into it together. And by the way, before I proceed, guys, please do me a favor, please. If this is your first time of coming across the channel, guys, please do not forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and also share to your friends as well. They're always welcome. Let us discuss football and transfer in general. So let's kick up the show together. And I think I'll be starting the show with David De Gea because as at yesterday, we were, you know, expecting a deal to be done for David De Gea, and that was on Genoa, if I'm not mistaken. Everybody was expecting that David De Gea will be going to Genoa, but as I speak or as we speak, that is not the case because that deal have actually not gone through. It has fallen off. I don't know why, but I still believe it has to do with what's it called with wages. But like I said, we are going to be looking at it together on the show. So let's begin with David De Gea. Now, and this is coming from what's it called? From Daily Mail. It's coming from Daily Mail, and it says, yeah, like you can see, guys. David De Gea suffers another blow in search for a new club as potential move to Genoa is off. As ex-Manchester United goalkeeper, unrealistic wage demand cause internal club to consider other alternative. Now, this is what I said just now. I believe it has to do with transfer wages, of which I don't understand, man. Honestly, of which I don't really understand. But we're going to get into it together. Now, let's just go based on the article, and it says here, David De Gea's potential move to Genoa is currently off due to the goalkeeper unrealistic wage demand. According to Sky Sports, Genoa will now look for another alternative goalkeeper. Now, De Gea has been without the club since his departure from United a year ago. During his 12 years at United, De Gea made 545 appearances for the club. He won the Premier League, FA Cup, two League Cup, and Europa League. In addition, De Gea played 45 games for Spain between 2014 to 2022. Okay, Genoa, who is now being managed by Alberto Gilardino, also sold Josep Martinez to Inter Milan this summer and are lookout for a new goalkeeper. Didier was reportedly opening to returning to United if Erik ten Hag and former technical director John Malta were no longer at the club, with the pair having overseen his departure. Now, as much as I can understand what he's talking about, but let's just be honest with each other, guys. Let's be honest with each other. No matter what coach that is coaching Manchester United, I still believe Onana will still be the goalkeeper. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Onana is a better goalkeeper than David De Gea, but if we are going to be realistic, guys, if we are going to be realistic here, guys, um, Onana they spent 50 million pounds to bring in Andre Onana. They spent 50 million pounds to bring him in. So Even Manchester United fan can live with the fact that Onana can be prone to mistakes sometimes, but I don't think there's some many fans that will say they will take David De Gea over Onana as it is right now. I don't think so. This guy called David De Gea needs to just move, man. Move on. And you can't be demanding those such amount of money you were talking about here. I don't know how much is demanded, but I just hope the article says it. Now, although United announced in April that Montel would be leaving, Ten Hag remains in charge following last season FA Cup success. Now, United opted to bring in Angelina to replace David De Gea with the showstopper joining from Inter Milan for initial fee of 43.8 million. During his first season at United Onana kept 13 clean sheets in 51 games. So far this summer, United have signed Lenny Ezexi and Lenny Euro. So basically, I don't know how much he wants to earn, you know, because from what I'm seeing on the article, it does not really specify how much was he looking to earn. But if I'll be honest with you guys, and you want me to have my say on it, I I honestly believe the reason why this deal has not gone through is because of what he's demanding. You know, it's because of the amount of money he's probably demanding from the club. And um, on David De Gea was earning stupid amount of money at United does not clearly means that he's going to get that same exact payment anywhere else. Because a club that is well run perfectly would never, would never be looking to offer such amount of money to David De Gea. Now, the reason why the likes of David De Gea, Harry Maguire don't want to leave United is because they know for a fact that if they leave United, they are never going to earn that amount of money they are earning right now in United. Honestly, that is why you have people like Harry Maguire talking about them, willing to fight for their shirt because they know that if they leave Manchester United today, there's no club out there that will be willing to pay them the same amount of money they were earning at United. And that's what it is. But David De Gea needs to understand that he is not that goalkeeper anymore. He's not. He's not. So he just needs to just move on with his career. And if you know you are after the money, you want money, then go to Saudi Arabia. Before Saudi Arabia came for what was his name? Um, Edison. Excuse me. Before they came for Edison, there were talks whereby they came for this guy first. Honestly, they came for you first. So I don't. For me, I don't really understand what is David De Gea still doing with his career. Man, move on. Go play for some another team. Go play for another team because you are never getting that payment you were earning at United anywhere else. The only place you have hopes of any such amount of money is Saudi Arabia, and that is my brutal, brutal, honest truth about the whole thing. I am not saying you're not a goalkeeper. I still believe you're a good goalkeeper. I still believe you are still better than some goalkeeper out there. You understand? When I say he's still better than some goalkeeper out there, I'm talking about the likes of Sanchez at Chelsea. I still believe David De Gea is a better keeper than Sanchez. When it comes to shots stopping, he's still a better goalkeeper than Onana. Just that we know what fans now want. They want playing from the back. And this is the reason why they signed Onana. You know, this is the reason why Onana was brought into the club because they want to play from the back. And we know when it comes to that David De Gea is lacking in that aspect. He's lacking. You know, this is why I understand and I sympathize and I want this guy just leave the club, go somewhere else where you'll be appreciated. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. But moving on, guys, I'm moving on to Federico Chiesa because Federico Chiesa have actually been linked to Tottenham Hotspur. Now, I don't know how true is that, but the article is coming from a football London. I don't know how true the article is. Let me just read some chats that is here. Um, Now, this is what Monk says. He says, if he really wants to play again, he needs to lower his wages expectation. No one will pay that for him, especially seeing him. He has been put out of a job for a year. That's fact. Like, I agree with you. That is fact. You've said it all. That's fact. That's fact, man. You're spitting that fact. David Moyes says, imagine being voluntarily unemployed for 14 months following a questionable previous years of performance in your when profession when you were on bloated salary and making excessive demand. United, Undando says United made him think he is worth more than he is. 350K per week, and he can't even play from the back. And this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. United make him feel, man, he's a good goalkeeper. He's a good goalkeeper. But with modern football, what that is required, David De Gea does not have it. I am sorry to say it. But moving on. This is coming from Football London, and it says here Federico Chiesa to Tottenham. Tottenham are being linked with a move for Juventus forward Federico Chiesa in the summer. The 26 years old scored 10 assists, scored 10 goals and banked 3 assists last season. He was one of the few to come out of Italy Euro 24 campaign with any credit to. With 1 year remaining on his contract, it could be a bargain signing for someone this summer with Spurs, the most interested of the Premier League clubs, according to reports in Italy. Now, sports media sets have claimed that Spurs are on the verge of tying up a deal to sign Chiesa, saying Chiesa is will say goodbye to Italy. He is close to Tottenham for 30 to 35 million pounds. However, Football London understand Chiesa not on the club's radar for a deal this summer. Spurs are looking to improve the forward line for Ange Postecoglou this summer, having already brought in reinforcements in the midfield through Archie Gray and Lucas Bevga. Timo Werner has signed again another season loan, but uh, it was part of the Australian squad in the second. Okay. In the second half of the season, last campaign. Now, when you're talking about this Chiesa of a thing, man, for me, I don't think this deal will get done, man. Honestly, because I believe that there are places they need to strengthen it because Tottenham still have Son, they still have Kulusevski, they still have Richarlison, they've got Brendan Johnson, they've got Timo Werner as well. So if there's any player, I believe Tottenham will be looking at to sign as a striker right now. If there's any player, I think as Tottenham will be looking to bring into the club, I think it will be what's his name? Ivan Tony. I think it will be Ivan Tony, honestly. But we can just conclude. Let us see how that pans out, guys. Now moving on, guys. I'm moving on to what's his name? Ray Mans. What's his name again? Roya. I'm missing Roya because there have been talks that he was linked to AC Milan. and this is coming from Football Insider, and it says AC Milan is nearing a deal to sign Tottenham's Emerson Royal. The club will attempt to finalize a transfer worth 14 to 15 plus add-ons this week. Now, I don't understand. There's some players, but when you look at this player and you ask yourself, how are these players getting moves? It shocks you. Like when you look at Emerson Royal, he has played for Barcelona, he has played for Tottenham. Now there's talks of him going to AC Milan. And for me, I don't think it's good enough, man. Honestly. Maybe the manager of Milan believes or thinks he can actually bring out the best in him. So for me, I guess we also have to just wait and see how that pans out. But moving on, guys, Arsenal have been linked to Sane. Arsenal Football Club has been linked to Leroy Sane. And if there's one thing I always say about Leroy Sane, I believe he's a good player, no doubt. I believe he's a good player, and I honestly believe this will be a good move as well because it's stressing. It gives strength to Arsenal attacks in the front. But do I also think they'll do this deal? I don't think so. If I have to be honest with each other, I don't think so. Now, according to transfers, it says Arsenal is tracking Leroy Sané's contract situation at Bayern with Mikel Arteta previous experience managing the player at Manchester City, providing a potential advantage in any future negotiation. Now, when it says in any future negotiation, it means that they might not really sign him now, but probably in the next future. But if you ask me, for my honest opinion, if it comes to Arsenal, I will tell you if Arsenal can get him, it will be a great addition, honestly, because he's a good player. He can play on the right hand side, he can play on the left hand side. So if Arsenal can bring in a player of his quality into that team, then I think that is a good transfer. Honestly, let's just keep aside the fact that we only want to banter a team, but let's drop that aside. He is a good player, and it will be a great addition to that Arsenal team. Honestly, it will be a great addition to that Arsenal team. But let's move on to the next one. I want to move on to Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid are in for what's his name? Conagalaga. And this is coming from Fabrizio Romano. And it says here Atletico Madrid and Chelsea are now in direct talks for Conagalaga deal. Negotiation underway for package around 35 to 40 million euros, plus add-ons included, requested by Chelsea. Gallagher on top of Atletico's list as revealed in May, now getting closer. Now, this is a very, very good footballer, you know, no matter what anybody want to say, because I know some people don't really rate him, of which I don't blame them for. Just that I just believe he's somebody that does not get the credit he actually deserves. He's a good player. He's honestly a good player. If I want to be honest with you guys, he's a solid, solid player. Ben Jacobs. So, like I'm saying, he's a solid footballer. So it will be very, very interesting to see what end up happening on the deal. It will be very interesting to see what end up happening on this deal. Well, moving on to the next one. I want to just show you guys a new Shorotiri. We all know this guy from Manchester United. Shorotiri. and it's come from Fabrizio Romano, and it says former Manchester United talent Shola Shiroti has just landed in Greece, journey on reviewed. For me, I will not say he's a good player. I don't know much about him. I like when the few times I watched him play, the few times I watched him play, I can't really tell you it was solid, it was good. I can't really say that. But I believe going to PAOK, maybe that will help us show us what he's all about. That will show us what is all about. But moving on, guys, I reported one of my stream about Pascal Groves leaving Brighton to join Dortmund. And this morning, guys, we received a year we go for that deal coming from Fabrizio Romano. You all know. And it says here Pascal Groves to Dortmund. Here we go. Deal are agreed for the 33-year-old to join BVB. A document now ready between Brighton and BVB, said to be signed in 24 to 48 hours. Now, Brighton to receive initial fee around 7 million plus add-ons. Now, that is interesting. That's interesting. We're going to see what he end up doing at Dortmund. But it is one thing Dortmund are good at. Dortmund are good at taking people's crap and making the best out of them and sell them, or should I say resell them again in the transfer markets. Now let's move on to the reports from Plattenberg. Let's move on to the report from Plattenberg because it says here, come from Plattenberg, it says here Chelsea and Aston Villa have submitted concrete offer for Maximilian Beer. Two more clubs from Europe and abroad. Okay, sorry. Two more clubs from abroad have made contact in the last hours. Leverkusen is still in the race, but no club have started negotiation with Offenham yet. No total verbal agreement with the player has have been made. Final decision within the next 14 days. The 21-year-old talented striker with a release clause of 30 million euros. Now Chelsea are just all over the transfer window, man. Just that the kind of signing they are making, I don't really understand. Honestly, I do not understand this kind of transfer Chelsea are making. All this money, 20 million, 20 million, 25 million, you signing you guys are making. Why don't you just go out there and just get a good striker, man? I'm not saying this guy is not a good French striker. He's a young lad. He's 21. And I don't think he's ready as yet to just come into the Premiership and start bargaining the goals. We saw it with Rasmus Hoyland. We saw the same thing with Rasmus Hoyland. So I don't really understand all these things Chelsea are doing, bringing in kids. It makes absolutely no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. Go out there and splash out the money and stop spending money here and there. It makes no sense, man. But what do I know? I know nothing. So let me just leave it at that. If they believe is the guy that they want at the club, then they should have it. And this is latest coming from Athletic. The latest coming from Athletic is the latest coming from Athletic is that Chelsea are ready to sell Ben Chilwell, and this is what they say on the article. Chelsea will consider selling Ben Chilwell for the right price amid doubt over his okay suitability. Okay, suitability to suit. Okay, suitability for Maresca style of play. Well, that will be very, very interesting to see, guys. Honestly, that will be interesting to see. Chelsea are just trying to create space, but I guess time we have to wait and see if he will leave the club or he gets to stay back. Now, in regards to Scott McTominay, coming from Sky Sport, it says here that Fulham are expected to make an improved offer for Scott McTominay coming from Sky Sport. And what would the improved offer be? Probably 20 mil or 21, 22 million. I think it's what around that price. I don't think it's what that amount United are looking to sell him for. I'm sorry. I don't really think it's what that amount of money United are looking to sell him for. But moving on, United are also willing to sell or loan out Anthony. United are also said to be ready to sell out or loan out Anthony. How true is that? How true is that article? Because for me, I don't think there's any sense in that article, if I'm being honest with you guys. Because you can't tell me Besiktas will be willing to pay 40 million, 50 million pounds for Anthony. I don't think so. I don't think so. So even though Manchester United are looking to sell him, this is why I don't believe this article is true, is that if Manchester United end up selling him, it will affect them in the FFP. It will. And this is the reason why so many clubs are, when they are trending with caution because they do not want to make any mistakes. They don't want to make any silly mistake because whatever you do can affect you. And that's why the transfer market has been the way it is. It has been like no deals has been done. The deals is taking forever. We just saw Arsenal announcing Calafiori. It took them over how many months to announce just one player, Calafiori. And their fans are already believing they are going for the unbeaten. I haven't heard some fans talking about if Arsenal can beat the record that was held by Chelsea, considering just 15 goals. I just laughed. I laugh because they believe it's only the defenders that did that made it happen. Chelsea considered 15 goals in a season. It took not just the defense line or the goalkeeper. It took everybody, even the likes of David. What's his name? The likes of Didier Drogba. You know, so sometimes I don't understand where people get their talks from. I don't. I honestly don't know. But moving on, guys, I want to move on to the. Just trying to just see what they said about this Osihmen of a thing. I guess I'll see that. I'll see to that later. Now, moving on, guys. I want to talk about Harry Maguire because as so many Manchester United fans believe that Harry Maguire is leaving the club, and I've been saying it that he's going nowhere. I have been saying it that he's going nowhere. Now, this is coming from Sky Sports and the United Stand, and it says here, Harry Maguire will not be leaving this summer. Getting there. So for those people that are expecting Harry Maguire to leave United, you might want to think again because there is a possibility that he might not leave the club but end up staying at the club. And I'm sure so many Manchester United fans will not be happy because when you have the likes of Harry Maguire leaving the club, it creates space. It creates space for people to come in. It creates space for other people to come into the club. But Like we all know, Harry Maguire is not ready to leave. Like I said earlier, because of money, what he's earning, what he's earning at United is the reason why he does not want to leave because he knows if he leaves today, West Ham will never offer him that amount of money. They won't. Whatever club is going to, they won't offer him that money. So that is why he's trending with caution here. But moving to Aaron Basaka, because they've been talks that he has agreed a deal. Aaron Basaka has now agreed personal terms with West Ham. The only thing left is the final fee with the clubs not far apart in valuation. The deal is expected to be completed soon, coming from United District. I just hope that deal gets done because I think Mazui coming to Man U is almost done. I think this is the deal that is owning the Mazui coming to club. I think this is the deal, holding the deal. Now, for those people that I believe, wondering why Abaka always broke, why Abaka broke, kind of sign players, maybe you want to take a look at this. Now, just look at the wages structure of Barcelona. This is mad. Now, you have Frank de Jong and Lewandowski earning 71 million pounds in a year from Barcelona. Whereas Vinicius Jr., Kylian Mbappe, and Jude Bellingham are earning 73 million. And you wonder why Madrid are the richest and the biggest club in the world. We don't overpay. We do not. We don't do that. Overpaying is not our thing, man. Overpaying is not our thing. But that will be interesting to see, guys. That will be really, really interesting to see. What else have I not touched on? I'm trying to just see what haven't I touched on. Now, for those people that was asking me yesterday about if Madrid are going to sign a player, you know, in the evening show yesterday, someone was asking me on my if I think Madrid will bring in a player. Well, the boss, the Don himself, have came outside to speak, and he says that Justin Real Madrid idea of not signing a centre back has become stronger after meeting analysis and talk took place. Now there's a and it's coming from the Athletic as well. So which means there's a possibility Real Madrid will not be signing a centre back. There is that strong possibility that Real Madrid will not be signing a centre back this season. But for me, I still believe Madrid will still win the league. Yeah, I still believe they will win the league because they have everything they want. You have the likes of Chumeni. Chumeni can still play as a centre back as well. But moving on to Manuel Gatti. And yeah, coming from the United stand and Fabrizio Romano, it says here, Manuel it says here, PSG could also be opening to accepting a loan for Manuel Ugarte with a buy obligation. Ugarte is waiting for Ugarte is waiting for Manchester United after agreeing personal terms 10 days ago. Now, he has agreed personal terms with Madrid, with Man U 10 days ago. The only thing left now is just for the two clubs to finalize and it becomes a United player. And I believe the reason why this deal is being discussed or they are open to a loan is because of the fact that they've gotten their man. They've gotten their man. What's his name? Jao Neves. That deal is almost done for me. I think that deal is done already. It's just we are all just waiting for the year we go. That's what we're waiting for. But now, moving on, guys. We've seen what's his name? Jordan Hayu. Jordan Hayu, the winger of Crystal Palace, being linked. And it's coming from the Sun Football, and it says here Crystal Palace and Ghana forward. Jordan Ayew is wanted by Leicester City. So um do you think they'll let him go? United is red. How are you doing? I'm good. How are you doing? I hope you're fine. I'm good. Now, do you think they will let him go? Because for me, I don't think so. Because no matter how you want to look at it, Jordan Ayew is still that same very, very key part. Still the key part of Leicester. United is red. United's transfer news. Well, I've just said it almost all. The only people they are looking about is loaning in Manogate. PSG are ready to accept a loan offer from Manogate, and I think that is it. There's nothing more to be said because the likes of Gerald Brightwaite, we know they are stand the right of what's his name, Gerald Brightwaite, delete. They've not been talks about them. The only people they've been talks about has been uh, the fact that Scott McTominay would leave. They are expecting an improved bid from Fulham. And what's his name? Shoretire. I wouldn't say he's a United player anymore because he left. His contract expired and they did not renew it. Scott McTominay is the one looking like Fulham wants to bring in a high kind of improved bid. Harry Maguire is not going anywhere. It has been said he's going to stay at the club. Jordan Ayew to City will be good. I United is red. I agree with you. I agree with you. But the honest truth, do I think it will happen? Because for me, I don't think they'll be willing to let him go, man. I don't think so. So for me, I don't think he will be allowed to leave the club, man. Aaron Basaka almost done. Yeah, they are discussing right now. Like he has agreed personal terms with West Ham. The only thing left right now is for Manchester United and um, West Ham to agree on a deal, on a price valuation, though they are not really far apart from what they value the player at. So that deal is also almost done. Manuel got it to United, and the update is that PSG are ready to allow Manogate to come on loan at United with a buyback obligation, whereby I just hope on that obligation they have to include some clauses, whereby if that clauses is met, then Manchester United will be willing to sign him because that is what it is all about right now. PSG are open to a buy obligation, a loan and a buy obligation. So that is it. If Aaron Basaka gone, we will get Mazwina. Yeah, that deal is almost done. The only thing is always like the deal for both sides has been done. The only thing that is holding the Mazwe's deal is Aaron Basaka leaving the club. That is the only thing I see holding this deal. Now, in regards to Jordan Hayu, I don't think Jordan Hayu will be left to leave the club because he's still an important part of Crystal Palace. Now, on the latest on Scott McTominay, and this is coming from Manchester United. Coming from Manchester United, and it says here, Scott McTominay's future could be dictate whether Manchester United brings in a midfielder this summer. For me, I do believe a midfielder will come into the club. A midfielder will come into the club. Well, and the Madrid news, I just said it just now. The Madrid news is that there's a possibility that a centre back will not come in to Real Madrid because a meeting took place, and after that meeting, they decided that if a centre back does not come into the club, it's not a bad idea because you have the like of Rudiger, Alaba, Militao. You still have the likes of Chumeni, who can sometimes plays as a center back. So I don't think I still believe they'll win the league still, even though they don't get uh, a center back. I want to sell McTominay now. Not everybody. I still see some Manchester United fans that actually, they rate this guy. I know some Manchester United fan base fans that actually believes he's a good player and they are not ready to let him go. Though you ask yourself, what football are those people watching? But it's what it is, guys. Now moving on, I want to just let me just clarify something on the Manuel Gatti thing. Now this is Manuel Gatti coming from Fabrizio Romano. It says here Manchester PSG could be open to loan with an obligation to buy deal for Manuel Gatti. The player is waiting to join Manchester United after reaching personal terms. Okay, I've done this already. 2 weeks ago, that is when he agreed personal term to join Manchester United. You know, so it is all been left for United if they are going to do that deal or not. So everything right now is inside it's with United on how they can speed up the transfer. Though for me, there's still talks of Amrabat. There's still talks of Amrabat, and this is coming from Sky Sport. And it says Sofian Amrabat is a player Manchester United are still considering signing, independent of other deal. Now I don't understand. If you are looking to bring in Manogate, you bring in Amrabat. Then you need to sell Scott McTominay or same Scott McTominay and probably even Casemiro. Because if there are talks of bringing in a player like bringing in a player like Manuel Gatti and Amrabat, then two more players needs to leave. Manchester United, sorry, Real Madrid don't need to sign any player because they have Kamavinga who can play right center back, right back, left back, striker. Yeah, that guy just I saw him taking basketball as well. He's just one. He's a worthy. It's too much, man. It's incredible. I want Ugarte permanently, not loan. Yeah, but if you can get him on a loan to buy, and if he comes into the club and perform, then Manchester United will definitely look into making that deal permanent. But it's also okay. It's okay if they are looking to get him for a loan to buy. I think it's still a good deal as well. I honestly still believe it's a good deal. If they can get him from loan to buy, it's still a good deal. Now, Fabrizio Romano have come aside to make a statement in regards of Chiesa. Now, this is what he said. He said no contact taking place between Tottenham and Juventus for Federico Chiesa. Spurs will sign one more player up front, but no talks or negotiation are taking place for Chiesa. And this is what I said earlier. I said it earlier. I said if Tottenham will be looking to get in a player, I don't think it's Chiesa. I'm not saying Chiesa is not a good player. I believe is a baller, no doubt. I believe Chiesa is a good player, but he's a winger. I know he's a winger, not a striker. And already Tottenham have so much wingers. They have Kulusevski. You have what's his name? Brendan Rogers. Sorry, Brendan Johnson, Tim Werner. So I don't really think this guy is the one they want to, let go. I don't think so. Now, United is red. He's asking. It says here, he says, I will take Amrabat for 15 to 20 million and good for backup. Yeah, no doubt. He's a good player, no doubt. He's a good player, no doubt. But I don't know if United would get that deal done because it seems Manchester United and their fan base are, or should I say, the board are putting their priority somewhere else, not on Amrabat. So that's what it is. Will Real Madrid be selling Rodrigo for 80 to 90 million? No, I don't think so. I think if Rodrigo is going to leave Real Madrid, it's going to take more than that to ship him out. At least 130, 140, 50 million. You know. Now it says, I don't know why Manchester United don't go for Chiesa. He can play left wing, striker, right wing, and great experience. Yeah, but one thing is this is injury prone. That is a problem I have with Chiesa. Is injury prone, and with the kind of team or the kind of structure United are building, they're trying to build a team that contests or compete for the competition next season. But that's what they're trying to do. That is what United are really trying to do. And if you bring in a player like Chiesa, Chiesa is injury prone, and that's a problem. It's injury prone. He's injury prone. That's the issue with Chiesa. But moving on, guys, to the Atletico Madrid, coming from Fabrizio Romano. Okay, Atletico Madrid are now in direct talks for Conor Gallagher deal. Negotiation underway for package worth around 35 to 40 million. Add-ons included requested by Chelsea. Gallagher on top of Atletico list as reviewed in May, now getting closer. Now, this is a good deal for Chelsea because they are able to sell and bring in more players. If there's something Chelsea they do very well, Chelsea knows how to sell players. I don't know how to do it, but they know how to sell players and they know how to bring in players. So I guess we just have to just wait for time to see how that pans out. But moving on to João Neves. Did Rio sell any player? No, they didn't sell anybody. The only person that they sold is Josolu, and that was 1.5 million. And that 1.5 million is the same amount they used to sign him at his previous club. So that's the same amount basically. Conor Gallagher is going to be good. Yeah, he will be a good player, man. And like I believe he's a good player. I rate him very, very good, man. He's a good player. Moving on, John Neves. I think this is probably concluded. Key hours ahead of for Paris Saint-Germain on former seal João Neves deal. Agreement almost done since last week. One more meeting will take place to sort details for fee around 70 million euros. Renato Sanchez will go back to Benfica. It had to be weak, and this remains PSG plans. That is interesting because I know Sanchez is a good player as well. PSG doing good business. Fact, they are doing good business. I just hope they can bring in Sancho as well or Kvaratskhelia from Napoli. But Kvaratskhelia does not really seem as if he's going to leave that club because Conte have actually said he's untouchable. I think Conte has planned for Kvaratskhelia. So I think the option PSG have is to go for Jadon Sancho as well. Now, moving on to the last one, because breaking news, Austin reported this morning, like how many minutes? I think 30 minutes ago. And it says here, Napoli in ongoing talks with Chelsea to sign Romelu Lukaku. Why discussion between Napoli and Chelsea also taking place about move for Victor in opposite direction. Lukaku will be a permanent deal, but Osihmen will be a season-long loan deal for buy option. Now, this year is a very, very, very good deal. Now, United Dress says Kvaratskhelia is overrated and overhyped. No, I don't think so. If there's a player that is overrated and overhyped, it's Osihmen. Osihmen is overrated. Like I watch Kvaratskhelia is a good player. Yes, he might not really have had that flair or that good this thing he had in his first season, but I still believe he's a good player. You know. And he says that Lukaku will play for every Italy club in 5 years, and he will play for them. And don't forget, he will always kiss the badge. He will always kiss the badge of the team. He kisses any badge. It's crazy, man. Now, I believe this deal is going to be a good deal, man. It's going to be a super deal. But I want to go into depth because Ben Jacobs actually explained everything about this deal. Jacobs explained everything about this deal. And it says here Chelsea are in talks with Napoli over Osihmen. Why is Romelu Lukaku has already agreed to a pay cut and a 3-year contract to move to Naples. Chelsea don't want to pay the 120 million plus release clause, but keen on Osihmen should be the structure change or price drop. Now, loan with option has to be discussed as reported as David Austin called. Also, understand Napoli have raised a loan option into an obligation. So Chelsea qualify for Champions League, which means that should Chelsea qualify for the Champions League, then they will be forced to sign what's his name? Osihmen. Moving on, spoke about Osihmen yesterday on London Blue podcast, door not shut. Osihmen also impatient to move, which has caused Napoli to reassess their position. Osihmen has agreed terms with PSG, but is understood to be in favor of Chelsea. Should a club-to-club agreement is reached, PSG talks over a fee structure haven't progressed to date. Saudi offer for Osihmen won't be made unless the Nigerian gives a green light and rejected 3 years contract from Al Hilal 12 months ago. Napoli wanting Lukaku helps Chelsea as does Osihmen put pressure on Napoli to leave as soon as possible. Now, the thing here, Ben Jacobs is trying to explain here is that the fact that Chelsea have Lukaku, because this deal right now is favoring Chelsea because they have Lukaku. We all knew for even before the Euros that Antonio Conte wanted what's his name? He has always wanted Lukaku in his team. Antonio Conte has always wanted Lukaku in his team, and the fact that because the Chelsea has Lukaku, that is the reason why there's a possibility of this day happening, whereby Napoli will be willing and ready to let Osihmen go to Chelsea for a loan. So, which means if he's good there, Chelsea will then decide if they want to sign him or not. But they've also included an obligation. Should it, in case if Chelsea gets UEFA Champions League football, then they have no other reason or option but to sign Victor Osimhen. And you United is asking where Victor is going. As it stands right now, he's looking at Chelsea. Chelsea are looking to buy Victor Osimhen. That is where it looks right now. As it stands currently right now, it looks as if it will end up at Chelsea. But for a loan deal, though, a loan. And if they get Champions League football, then Chelsea will be forced to sell to buy him. And that's the end of the show today, guys. I guess I'll see you guys on the later on the show in the later on. Whatever breaks up, we're going to be discussing it as well. So from me, your boy Tama Banks for now, I'm signing out. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Big up to everybody. David Moyes, Andrew Mock. Big ups to all of you. United is red. Big up. Love you. And thanks for joining on the show. Liverpool only big club that signed no players and having UEFA Champions League. Yeah. One thing is that you have to just look at it. Klopp is able to make those players better. That's what the club does. He's able to make the players better. That way it up. So big up to you, United Red. Thanks for being on the show. And please do not forget to subscribe, and also do not forget to share with your friends as well. Let them know we are building the community on here. So please feel free to share the links to your friends, to your social media platform. Let's build the community together. For me, your boy, for now,